All right, we're following some breaking news right now. Live pictures of the U.S. Capitol in Washington. As we understand, the Capitol is on lockdown at this hour as a result of a security threat. And there's not a ton of information that's coming into us at this point. What we have learned is that there has been an external security threat, according to an alert that went out at the Capitol complex. And due to this external threat, all U.S. Capitol campus buildings have been locked down. No entry or exit permitted at this time. A warning, an alert that went out said that people could move about the complex, inside the complex, but that they should stay away from doors and windows as the building has been locked down at this point. Obviously, we have NBC News crews that are inside the complex, and we're working to get some more information about what exactly is going on there. And we use the term complex because we're not just talking about the Capitol building itself that we traditionally associate, the domed building we see there, but several office buildings that are connected by tunnelways and such. The Library of Congress and the Supreme Court sit directly across the street on the backside of the Capitol building. Our White House correspondent, Monica Alba, has been watching this for us. Monica, you're there in Washington. What more have you been able to learn?
From our own Capitol Hill team, of course, my colleague Leanne Caldwell, who's just down the street from me on the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue, who is confirming the Capitol complex is currently on lockdown. She's in the Russell Senate office building, so that sort of overlooks the rotunda and the dome that you're seeing there from one side. And she witnessed a helicopter landing on the East Front, which is extremely unusual, clearly a law enforcement response to some kind of incident, which we are also learning from our own justice correspondent Pete Williams, is unfolding there, and they are reacting to. What's unknown at this time is whether some kind of car or vehicle breached that security barrier, and then what happened from there. There are some unconfirmed reports of shots fired that we are working to nail down, but of course, just the context, this is an extremely fortified and defended Capitol building and complex because of what happened on January 6th and those pro-Trump rioters who breached the grounds originally, of course, trying to contest those election results, of course, for which there was no evidence of widespread voter fraud. In the months since then, there has been a huge security presence outside of the Capitol. But even just in the last couple of weeks, that was scaled back. What you're seeing there on your screen, that fencing, which again does appear to be breached by that vehicle, which we're waiting to get more information on. We know that there are certain people who, of course, can access the complex, journalists, lawmakers, and law enforcement. But if somebody was trying to get through with some force, that is potentially what happened here. But you see that barricade that clearly stopped that vehicle. But when we talk about this fencing, Aaron, this was something that extended much larger. A huge perimeter was established and there for a few months with thousands of National Guard protecting the Capitol complex. That was scaled down very, very recently, but you do still have this on the perimeter to ensure that nothing like this could really escalate. So we're waiting to get a lot more information. I'm told by my colleagues, again, who are just down the street here on Pennsylvania Avenue, they've been told essentially to shelter in place, not to be near any of the exteriors, and essentially to take cover and seek shelter until there's more information and until they know for sure that the security threat is over. Based on some of those images, it's possible that that already has been contained, but they're still working on more information. And I can tell you my colleague Frank Thorpe, who also covers Capitol Hill, did just put in a little bit more information here on what we were seeing there, which is, again, this happened on the Senate side of the Capitol, and that camera angle that you had a little bit ago was from a camera from the north entrance to the gate that surrounds the Capitol on the corner of Constitution and Delaware Avenue. So that is what limited information we have at this time, Aaron. I can also tell you here from the White House perspective, the president has already left the building for the Easter weekend. He is headed to Camp David with his family. He departed from here about an hour hour ago. But Jen Psaki, during the White House press briefing, was just asked whether she had any information about this unfolding security incident, and she said she wasn't briefed on it, given that press availability had been taking place for the last 45 minutes or so. So essentially, while this was still unfolding, but she was asked, of course, if there was a change in security posture, for her to let us know that. We haven't been alerted so far, and from what I can tell, just behind me, overlooking the White House and the fencing around it, that remains in place too, and all seems to be in order down here. The president, wherever he goes, whenever he's traveling, always has people around him who can brief him and provide him up-to-the-minute information, so we assume that's taking place. But again, that's happening down at Camp David in Maryland, far away from the White House, as we wait for more information from officials on just what happened in the last hour or so here outside this, again, heavily fortified Capitol, still clearly on alert and nervous given what happened in January, Aaron.